When a candid moment is captured in your camera, it's a reassurance that you can relive that moment 1,000 times over. I have with me a couple candid photographers, Vinod and Sneha, who are really passionate about what they're doing. Come, let's go hear from them more about this profession. Hi Vinod, hi Sneha, welcome to my show, The Next Step. So tell us about your journey of being full-time professionals, IT professionals, to to being completely at the different end of spectrum. That's doing the candid photography. Tell me, how did this journey start? When did you decide that you have to take up this as your profession?
So we both were a part of IT industry for quite some time,
Okay,
and there was something missing. There was no satisfaction. Like 100% satisfaction was not there.
okay,
Maybe the way we used to commute from home to work and getting stuck in the traffic for quite some time. You know, back then, I'm talking about 5 years back.
okay.
The traffic never used to move. We used to be. It
Right,
used to
get
be in a
stagnated in
halt.
it.
Yeah.
Right.
So all that added up to the frustration I feel,
Okay.
and maybe some of the office politics, that's it's
Very
everywhere.
common now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
And we always wanted to do something of our own, since the time we met and since the time we started discussing
Okay.
everything. And that's when we thought we'll just switch from IT and do
Okay.
something what we like,
Okay.
because that's what we wanted to do all the time. We wanted to love what we wanted to do.
Right. Okay.
So we thought photography is the thing for us, and that's how it started.
So, did you guys both decide together to switch your careers, or was it that one of you decided? Because usually they say if one of the partner takes up an unconventional profession, the other has to have a secure job in order to run the show. So, how did you plan for this?
Uh, to be very honest, I don't think there's something called as a secure job.
Okay.
A job can never be secure, is what I feel. And for the past 6 years doing running a business, it's more stronger of that opinion which I have. Um, Actually, I wanted to switch for a long time, for the quite some time, but I didn't want to do it alone. So I asked her, and like I said, she was ready. And so yeah, it was almost like together that we tried to switch.
Okay.
But it was not like a sudden switch.
Okay. It was
Before,
planned.
yeah, it was partly planned, I would say, and part risk. And it was like I had gone on site, and my sole intention of going on site was like I come back and I quit.
Okay.
So that on-site stint helped me save quite some finances for myself, and immediately after I came back, we got married. So that helped. That a little saving for, let's say, 3-4 years, you
Okay.
can how you can match your lifestyle, current lifestyle, if you can manage for 3-4 years,
Okay.
is what I felt like. If we could give it 3-4 years or 5 years, let's say,
Mm-hmm.
and see if it works for us or not, and then we can see if we can go back to the secure job.
Right.
So we gave ourselves 5 years. That is what we initially discussed. Let's give ourselves 5 years. Let's see how it works out for us. And that's what we discussed, and both of us were ready. Of course, there was a little friction at home, saying one of you should be there in a job.
Hmm.
And but then I think now they are quite convinced that
Okay. Uh,
it's kind of a right path for us.
all right. Nice. Before taking up this full time, what process did you go through in terms of market research, talking to experts, exploring your contacts, and so on?
Before we took this up, we did not do any kind of market research. See, now if you want to do something, you can. There are a lot of social medias and Instagram and so many profiles you can go through. You can get a list of all the photographers. You can see their work. Back then, we didn't do anything.
Okay.
All we wanted to do was we just wanted to do something, and we just took the risk of doing it.
Okay.
And talking to experts, we did not know of any experts back then.
Okay.
So it just happened that I just bumped into one of our colleague in the office itself.
Okay.
She was actually looking for photographers. She just wanted to get a pre-wedding shoot done, and she was looking for photographers.
Okay.
So I thought, maybe why can't you give us a chance? We are also looking for something like this.
Okay.
We would be very keen on
Taking up that.
capturing your moments.
Okay.
So why don't you give us a chance on that? I convinced her.
Okay.
So she was like, she readily accepted, and we just took it up. And that was our first pre wedding shoot
Okay.
that we did without any experience and with the basic camera gear that we had.
Okay.
And the pictures came out very nicely, and they liked it. And after that, one of my other friend got married. We covered her engagement, and that circle like went on.
The word
They,
of mouth, it got
yeah,
spread, and then you got a lot of uh,
yes,
okay, opportunities. Okay,
yes.
all right. So, what are the key skills required to become a candid photographer? What are the sort of the skills required to become a candid photographer apart from the technical knowledge?
I would look at it as this. Probably there are two or three things. Like one is technical knowledge for sure. The other thing is the art of photography,
Okay.
understanding light. Uh, that does not come under technical because light is various. So you can have natural light, you can have controlled light, you
Hmm.
can have strobes, flashes. So those come under art because the end result is in your mind.
Right.
Okay, I can put the flash on the camera and get everything bright. But if I take the flash out of the camera and point it from another angle, that is art, right? So there are different aspects to it. So it depends. So you ask the client of what they want. Some say I want all photos to be bright and nice. Some say you go creative. So that it becomes a question of art.
Okay.
And the third aspect is people knowledge. I think it has to be the point number one, and that's the most important because knowing people is the most important to remain a candid photographer.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, your the tone is said to be a traditional photographer.
Okay.
So what we generally do is we meet the client beforehand, and that's one thing which we have learned, and that has to be there. So talking to people or what they want, what is their requirement, and what are they expecting
Okay.
is what I think is one of the most key things. And to be very honest, you need to be a nice person, a calm person.
Okay.
They should not be stressed out about you.
Right.
You should gel,
Easily with them.
easily with them. And on that day, they should not be like, who's this stranger who's taking my photo? It should be like, okay, that's my friend. I
Right.
can be myself.
So you should be part of that group, a
Yes,
part of that
you should
family,
be
and
part of their family. It should be like that. I mean, you should be like, I'm one amongst them,
right.
and they should be feel like you're one amongst them.
Right. 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 Right.
And wedding is a riot of emotions, so because you never know who's going to cry there.
Right. Right.
So you have to be ready.
Okay.
And when you're crying, if someone is pointing a camera at you,
Yeah.
it makes them feel odd. I mean, I would feel odd.
Right.
But if I know a friend is taking my photo, I would want that memory to be there.
Right. Absolutely.
So yeah, that's
Right.
what I feel is one of the key aspects.
All right. Okay. How did you upskill yourself to suit the needs of this profession? I mean, did you adopt any of the learnings from your previous profession, from your past career?
Yes. So after the first pre-wedding shoot that we did, we just realized that clients will not just come and approach you.
Right.
Okay. So we need time, and when there is nothing to do, when there are no events and there's nothing to do,
Mm-hmm.
all we did was we went through a lot of YouTube videos,
Okay.
and Udemy. There are a lot of
Online trainings.
online trainings
Right.
like Udemy and things like that.
Right.
So we learned how to edit on Photoshop,
Okay.
and a lot of editing tools that we use
All
like
right.
Lightroom, Bridge, and everything. We
Okay.
explored them, and also we did something called as Project 365.
Mm-hmm.
So what we did was we took pictures every day, and we used different lighting techniques. We learned about the light, we studied light, and not just that, we explored from macro photography to landscape photography to even astrophotography.
Okay.
We tried everything, and we made sure to post one picture daily on Facebook. So what happened was, people who used to follow us, they thought, okay, these guys are very serious on what they are doing, so why not like let's
Give them
give
more
them a
opportunities.
chance.
Right. Right.
That's how it opened up for us.
Okay. Okay.
And things that we have inculcated from our IT industry is one of them is understanding client requirement
Okay.
and discussing with them
I think
and
that's the
on.
most important factor,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Understanding the client requirement plays a very important role,
Yes.
right?
yeah,
I think the same thing applies to this profession as well, right?
Absolutely.
yes.
Yeah, right.
And making the taking notes on how we can work on it, or if we can't, what is the workaround that we can do to make them happy. That's one thing. And we still use Excel sheets. We look up
Okay,
to verify data and
all
the
right.
number of photos and everything. So yeah, there is
Some kind of technical knowledge being carried over to
technical.
Yes,
this as well.
absolutely.
Yes,
All
yes.
right, nice. So tell me, Vinod, what is the initial investment required for this profession? Do you need any investment to, upskill yourself or buy new equipments and stuff?
Okay. Okay, let me try and answer this in two ways. Yes, there is an initial investment. Uh, to be very honest, photography is an expensive hobby.
Okay.
So, so initial investment can range between anything. So, initially, I'll tell you technically, there are two or three types of cameras.
Mm-hmm.
One is a crop sensor camera,
Okay.
one is a full frame camera,
Okay.
is what they use in movies,
Okay.
and one is a medium format camera,
Mm-hmm.
okay, which is a larger. These are all sensor sizes.
Okay.
So initially we just had crop sensor cameras, and we are very thankful to the people who did not ask a question to us about what cameras do you use or what lenses do you use. So we started off with the basic crop sensor cameras. We did a few weddings with that, and then we realized, yes, somewhere the equipment is not giving us the best results that we want. So
Okay.
we had to upgrade.
Okay.
So let me say the initial investment, if you want to own cameras and lenses, can be anywhere between 3 and 4 lakh rupees. It depends. I mean, if you are one person, it need not be that much.
Okay.
If you're two people, it will be that much, because you need to have lights, and lights are not cheap. And you need to have cameras. Cameras are not cheap. I'm not saying they're very expensive, but they're not cheap either. So you'll have to have that initial mindset of, if I'm going to own a camera, it will be this much cost for me, and to upgrade to a to newer set of equipment, it again costs more. So from crop, if you want to go to full frame, it's double the investment. So you can easily double it. So the investment is quite high.
Okay.
Like I said, it's not a it is an expensive hobby.
Right.
So yeah, and upskilling not only comes in terms of cameras and lenses. Now we have realized after 5-6 years that camera and lens can only give you this much result. It's the light which will give you the best results.
Right.
So you have to invest in the best of the best lights.
Okay.
So only the lights will give you the best results and best creative possible results, is what I can say. Uh, the second part in which I want to answer this question is, uh, you can start with zero,
Okay.
because today there are rentals. You need not own a single camera,
Hmm.
and there are companies which rent their equipment for you. So as low as 1% of the MRP. So let's say a camera is 2 lakh rupees in the market. So 2000
Okay.
rupees per day rent is what you pay. So that can be, for someone starting off, that can be a great incentive to have, like a thought process can change, like saying, okay, I want to cover a wedding, I want to try this profession. Can I rent? Yes, you can. You can rent cameras, lenses, flashes, strobes. You can get anything for on rent. So your initial investment suddenly comes down to that 1%
Bracket. Right.
bracket, right?
Right.
So that can be done.
Right.
So yeah, these are two or three things which you can keep in mind if you're starting off.
So probably you can, our viewers are watching this and they
Yeah,
will make a note of all this.
yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. So is there any marketing investment required to promote your brand?
See, we took the risk initially, so we did not really do marketing as such, but we just, if you can say, just an FYI to all our friends and family, saying, yes, if you want a photographer, we are here. And like she mentioned about Project 365, that's when I could say, yeah, that could be a marketing thing which we could have, which we did back then, because it shows someone you're doing something every day for 365 days in a year will show people that you are serious about something, and
Okay.
people will get back to you. But one of the key marketing thing which you need to have is create a website for yourself.
Okay.
Instagram will die down, Facebook will die down, and all your social media will die down, but your website will not.
Right. Okay.
So you do a Google search, you need to have a website which comes up first
Right.
before all your social media, and that creates a big impact because clients will look at the work, a detailed amount of work, and who you are as a team,
Right.
right?
So
So
they know about
that
your
for
complete
that you need
profile.
to have a website. Instagram cannot have everything. So yeah, that one of the key things which I would say is what worked for us is the website.
Okay.
That came after probably 6 to 8 months of our initial work because we didn't have much content to put in there. Once we did have contacts, we covered a lot of events. We created a website immediately and put our content on.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so Akshay, when we started designing our website, we had to sort out the best of the best pictures and then classify them as to which category they belong to, whether they belong to portraits or is it kids or is that emotions or any other events. And we even after launching our website, we even had to see the website ourselves from a user perspective on every other devices. Say in iPad it looks different, on Android it looks different, on a laptop it looks different. So we had to see from every other perspective and make changes. And
Okay.
what are the effects? So there are parallax effects and other
Okay.
things. So we kept discussing about all these things, and our usual conversations used to always revolve around the photography thing and
Okay.
how to bring in business or how do we
Enhance your
enhance
website.
it, yeah,
Right.
enhancing the website and everything.
Right. Right. Okay. So tell us about the challenges and perks you get as candid photographers.
Okay, being a candid photographer, a moment is very precious for you. You cannot miss a moment and regret for it later. So I'll give an example. You're in a wedding. You've arranged a chair. There is this muhurta time.
Right.
They put this yellow
GPU.
jirge billa,
Right.
jirge billa time. You are so ready for that moment. You've placed yourself in a very perfect angle. Your settings are bang on, and you just have to press the shutter.
Right.
The girl and the boy comes up in the air, and somebody puts akshate like this, and their hand is straight in front of our camera, and our moment is missed. So
Okay.
these are one of the these are some of the challenges. You cannot do anything at that moment.
Hmm. Hmm.
And yeah, very similar things like these happen. And when your client are some of our clients are very specific about not taking pictures of people eating food.
Okay.
So you will go prepared that okay, it's very embarrassing for us also to go and click somebody's picture when they're having their food or showing them in detail. So at that time, somebody, maybe their relative or somebody, will insist us on
Okay.
taking those pictures. That will be one of the challenging thing.
Moments. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
like you don't like to do, but you're forced to
But
do
you're
it.
forced to do. Right. Okay.
These are some of the challenges.
Okay. Okay.
The other side of it is being a female photographer. I get a lot of love and affection from many of the elders.
Okay.
So I've got a lot of blessings. I mean, they really come and tell me, "Oh, you're doing a very good job, Uma." And I get a lot of blessings. And
Okay.
even I've received a lot of gifts as a token of appreciation.
Okay.
So that's the other
Other
angle
side of
to
it.
it.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So that's the
So
perks.
we'd rather look at the positive, nice things than
Okay.
the
Okay. Despite the challenges, you
yeah.
get these
Yeah,
are the perks you what you get.
yeah.
Right.
Something which I would like to add as a challenge is on field.
Mm-hmm.
You discuss everything with the couple, the family, but there is someone who will try to change your narrative on the day of the photo shoot,
Right.
saying why don't you take this? Why is there no screen? Why is there no drone?
Hmm. Hmm.
Because it was not discussed. So
Right.
it like photography means all these things should come.
Right.
by
So they
default.
expect you to have all these
Yeah,
equipments, right?
but the one who's paying is not talking,
Right.
right? So that I will see as a challenge, because sometimes you don't know the narrative which goes. I mean, they would go back and tell them, why did you get this done, why did you get that done, or why didn't they do it.
Right.
So that would be a challenge, because it has happened quite a few times, and we have to keep answering to some relative who's not even a part of the the
Right. The
the
part of the wedding.
discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Right.
part of the discussion, saying that, okay, no, this was not
Oh,
discussed.
right. Okay. So tell us about your work process, starting from taking the client brief till delivering the output.
Yeah.
So after we get a call from the client, we ask their requirements,
Okay.
and we first check the availability on our calendar,
Calendar. Okay.
whether that date is feasible for us. And then we ask them if we can meet them in person to understand their requirements better.
Okay.
So after we meet, we take all their requirements. What are their expectations? What are they looking forward to? They require only photos, or do they require video
Videos.
also? If it's a video, what kind of a video are they looking into? Do they want a short highlight video, which is a candid video, or do they want the whole coverage,
Mm-hmm.
say a traditional kind of a video? Or do they want drone footage also? Would they want screens to be displayed? Do they want live streaming? So there are many options.
Right.
So according to that, we discuss, we take the requirements, and then we just give them a quote, how much it will cost. And then after, if they are okay, then we will take an advance amount, so that we can book our tie-up teams and keep
The next set
everybody
of.
posted.
Right. Okay.
After that, before going to an event, we make sure to clean our cameras and gears and everything. We have a checklist to which event which equipments have to go, and depending upon their requirement, whether they need a drone or anything.
Okay.
So we have a checklist, and we follow that checklist, and we even clean our gear.
Okay.
We will just get all our memory cards formatted, and we'll make sure that there are sufficient backup batteries, lights, and everything.
Okay.
And then after the event is done, we come back, we take a backup in our laptop or PC, and we will have a second backup in our hard disk. So these are the raw footage,
Footages. Okay.
all the raw images and everything. And then we make sure that we have copied it correctly by checking on the counts. After that, we start editing, and then we deliver it either on a pen drive, or we can even transfer, or there are cloud
Put it
storage
on the
on.
cloud. Yeah. Right. Okay.
So we share it
So
to
how long would
the
that editing process take?
editing. It takes, I mean, the wedding will have, if we cover a wedding, they'll be around 5,000 photos, which we can expect from three different cameras.
Okay.
So if you have any events in between the editing, then editing might get pushed a little bit.
Okay.
If there are no events, then we can. So we even split the editing part. He does it in a PC, I do it in a laptop.
Okay.
And after editing, he reviews my work and I review his work. So that's how
Then
we.
you collate all this, put together, then you
Yeah,
deliver it.
yeah.
Okay.
And we find out mistakes if there are any.
All
Usually
right.
there won't be.
Okay. Got it.
So I used to be a developer, she used to be a tester.
Okay. Okay. Oh,
It's a
that's how it
match made
goes.
in heaven.
All right.
So we have continued, our process of
The
reviewing
development
each,
and testing.
yeah,
Okay.
reviewing
All
each
right.
other's work.
All right. So tell me, what sets you apart, or what's your USP?
I don't know if I can call it a USP, but there are not many couple photographers,
Mm-hmm.
right? You would hardly find any. You would find solo female photographers or men dominating the field,
Right.
which has been the case because, like she was mentioning, she gets a lot of blessings from the elders, and that's because being a female in that field is sets you apart right away, right? If someone is smiling before you are smiling to the camera,
Right.
so they feel very nice, pleasant.
Right.
So I would say that would set us apart, tiny bit from the rest, because you see a lot of men trying to, dominate the field.
Field. Right.
I'm not saying that's wrong,
Mm-hmm.
but you see a friendly face, it's better, is what I say. And also one more thing, need not be a completely thing, what sets us apart, but we write blogs about our experiences in a wedding.
Okay.
um, it's our experience only, and it's not like what they felt about us, it's about what we
Purely your
felt about
experience.
that
Okay.
particular wedding, because there are a lot of cultures, a lot of rituals which are performed in a wedding, or that's very nice to
Okay.
learn about,
Right. Right.
because and also it helps in a future wedding, because at this particular time this is going to happen, so you can set yourself, position yourself correctly. So that experience we write, and we thank many people in that. Let's say a makeup artist who's done a good job, we mention their Instagram handle and say, please go follow them.
Right.
Or caterer who's done a good job, we mention their name there.
Okay.
Or our own people who come with us, if they, we
Who
mention,
accompanied you?
yeah,
Yeah.
who
Right.
accompany, we mention their Instagram handles and we say go follow them, see the good work that they have done separately. Yeah, so these are the things which I think you need to have a little extra to do and thank people.
Right.
So we
Right.
thought the best way, and I like to write. So I write all my thoughts, and she reviews it before we publish it.
Okay. So tell me, on an average, how many projects do you take in a month, and how often do you take breaks? Do you really take a break?
Yeah, we do take
Okay.
breaks. There is no fixed number on the
Number of
number of
projects you take.
events
Okay.
or projects that we take up in a month. We just make sure that we do not take up two things or two events in a particular day,
Okay.
because finishing one and getting into another will be a little taxing.
Okay.
It's a little stressful.
Okay.
So we want to give our best thing. So we make sure that we don't take up two.
Okay.
Apart from that, yeah, we do take breaks. There are months which are like off season for weddings,
Okay.
like Ashada, they say, or
Right.
there is one more word which I forgot.
No problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So during those months, there will not be any auspicious days, so there won't be any events. So during that time, we take up all these small events like birthdays or naming ceremonies, and we also do these architectural photo shoots and
Okay.
video and everything. So though we try to squeeze in as many as we can get. And yeah, that's about it. And just recently we were just looking at the numbers, like how many events have we covered so far in the 6 years. Then we just discovered that it has crossed 300.
Okay.
So if you calculate on an average, it's around 50 per year,
Right.
and that's quite a good
So
number,
probably
as
around
I
four per
think.
month,
Yeah, yeah,
close to four or five
yeah,
projects per
four or
month.
five. Yeah.
Right. Okay. That's nice.
Yeah.
Nice to hear.
And for breaks, we travel.
Okay.
Oh.
We do have a YouTube channel on that.
All right.
So
Okay.
we travel and put up videos.
Okay. So even there you take
Travel
up, you do all
videos.
videos and photos and stuff.
Just
Okay.
video
Okay.
on YouTube. A
Okay.
short 2-3 minute video
About the place?
about the
Yeah,
place.
about
Okay.
the
Nothing
place
about
and our
us.
journey.
All right. A very important question for all our viewers. Uh, so, what is your advice to someone who wants to pursue this profession?
We'll have lesser clients for sure.
Okay.
But yeah, I will say, financially, please think about it first.
Okay.
You can do it along with your job. If you have a job, please do it along with your job. If you're studying, please do it along with your studies. You don't have to quit anything like us, um, full time and take a big risk, because it might not work for you. You can do it alongside, like I mentioned earlier, that you don't have to have any sort of investment. You can rent.
Yeah.
You
You can
can
rent the
rent
cameras. You're right.
equipment, so you can try it out if it's for you or not. Not everything is for everyone.
Right.
You can be very passionate, but you can be a very bad business person, right? And that might irritate you because it might tend to become a job.
Right.
So how do you move out of that mind space? So even in our 5-6 years of stint in this, we have had many times thought like we should go back to a job and do a job because uh, not everything is rosy,
Right.
right? So nothing comes as a bed of roses. So there are thorns. You need to be aware of those thorns, and you need to know what challenges you will face, and most of it is going to be financial, right? So it, you there will be months where you'll have no work, nothing coming in. In a job, you'll have something coming in at the end of every month.
Right.
Here you don't, but that is business,
Right.
right? So in business, you can have earning every day, you can have it every week, every month, or sometimes never in a few months. So you'll have to be ready for that, and that people understanding that is the most important, because you can be passionate how much ever you want, but food on the table is the most important,
Right.
right? You cannot
Right.
depend on some other person for that.
Right.
So think about it. If you there is a market for everyone. It's not like my market, I will eat up your market. No, it is not going to be possible, because your first circle is your first circle, and that's where you'll start expanding. No matter how much marketing you do, word of mouth is the key player in any business. In
Right.
any business, because people want to trust people,
Right.
right? People don't want to trust numbers. Like if you have 1 million followers on Instagram, it might it might be a barrier which you break initially, but after that you will want someone's opinion on, who was sent for your wedding. Were they pleasant enough? Were they professional enough?
Right.
So all these things matter. So you can continue. Your everyone has a market. uh, they say market is saturated, but everything in this world is saturated. If you take it in that perspective, you can say a job is saturated. There are plenty of engineers, but people still continue doing engineering,
Right. Right.
right? There are plenty of other professions which people still want to
Continue
pursue.
want to pursue that profession. Right.
So this is also a profession which you can take it up, which you can for sure take it up,
Right.
but you'll have to know the nuances, the you know
The pros and
the
cons of
pros and
this.
cons of
Right.
everything.
Right.
So you'll
Right.
have to be ready for running a business full time. You need to know that finances can be hit,
Right.
but at the back of the mind, if you know that you are doing something nice, right?
Okay.
You are capturing memories for someone,
Okay.
and they are coming back to you as repeat business.
Right.
For sure, it will work for you.
So tell me, what are some of the trends or changes you have witnessed in the current in the current scenario of the in the field of photography?
So, in the recent past, people have started asking us to make their reels
Okay.
during their weddings. So, we do not do reels, and we do not want to do it for someone when we are not very good at it.
Okay.
And these reels are like, I feel it is gonna, it's very temporary now, and this trend is going to die down very soon. Not just the reels, I think even Instagram is slowly dying down. So all these are like trends, and some I have even come across some people asking not only for reels, they even want their reels to go viral. So we have to make sure to make it more creative and more unique that it goes viral, which is never in our hands. Yeah. So if you want to make somebody's reel go viral, we have to study the Instagram algorithm, understand it. It's a very tedious thing, and we don't want to invest our time on that. So we don't want to do this. And there are like we have come across in the recent past, people even do photo shoots in drainage, and
Really?
yes,
Okay.
in garbage, near the garbage,
Oh,
and
okay,
in
that's very
slush.
funny. Okay.
So their intention is to get attention
Okay. Okay.
more than
So do something out of the box, so something very
out of the
different.
box. Yeah, very
Okay.
different.
Okay.
So these are some of the, I don't say it's trend, something is happening. It's a little crazier for us,
Okay.
and we don't know how to catch up on those things.
All right.
Yeah, and also to add to what she's saying is that there are a lot of technically advanced things now, tools which you have. Like you have 360 cameras,
Okay.
so they set up 360 cameras, and it's not manned. Nobody's sitting there to man those cameras. They sit in a remote location and they, take the view. And someone who has a VR headset connected to their phone, you can see the entire event happening. All in all directions. So that's something nice which is happening. And also AI is catching up in terms of editing. So you have big companies which are trying to make editing easy for photographers. So something which is specific to a photographer is Lightroom, and Lightroom is catching up with a lot of AI related features, which can be really helpful. And even Photoshop for that matter, there are skin retouching tools,
Okay.
and a lot of things now if you have a frame in Photoshop, you can select individual objects,
Okay.
and that's great. I mean, even last year we couldn't do that. So things have been catching up really fast.
Right.
And
Right.
drones in the last 4 5 years, drones are catching up.
Okay.
There are advanced drones now, cinematic drones, which can capture beautiful footage in detail, like 4K, 8K resolution.
Okay.
So there are a lot of things which are catching up now
On the technology
and
front.
on the technology front.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So those are the things which you are seeing.
Okay. All right. Nice. So let's conclude this episode with this question. So, how satisfied are you with your work? How do you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10?
Maybe an 8.
Yeah, 8 would be
8,
good.
I think.
All right. Okay.
And one bad experience is going to set you back, 10 steps back.
Right.
So
Right.
leave that 2 points further. For
All right.
improvement is what we think.
Absolutely. That's nice. All right. It was nice having you both on our show. Thanks for giving us all valuable insights about candid photography as a profession. So, thank you very much for being on my show and wish you all the best for all your future ventures.
Thank you so
Thank
much, Akshay. It
you.
was a
It was
wonderful
nice.
experience. One
Yeah.
wonderful experience. Yeah.
Thank you. So, that's how you do what you love. May you capture the profession what you aspire. I'll catch you in my next episode with another interesting profession. Until then, let your work give you satisfaction because satisfaction is success.